Alright, guys. I'm finally back to do this for you guys. I'm back to review some more restaurants and stores. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these reviews. I do want to apologize. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and all that, and then we've had the holidays and stuff like that. I haven't really gotten around to doing, some reviews like this. But I do miss doing some store and restaurant reviews, so I'll be doing that. Technically, I think I should be reviewing the restaurants second and then the stores first, that's how I was doing it. But at this point, I kind of just want to review whatever I feel like. So, this is the big video I wanted to do because it's Tuesday, It's actually, the day after President's Day and after Valentine's Day weekend. So, yeah. So I'm going to be talking about Ruby Tuesday because, it being Tuesday and all of that. If you guys haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. If you guys want to, if you guys want to get, notified for future videos, and thoughts and stuff on, on reviews, I would really appreciate that. But, anywho, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, let's go ahead and review this. So we have Ruby Tuesday here. So Ruby Tuesday is the restaurant I'm going to be reviewing here. Now, it's a restaurant I'm not actually as well known with as, let's say, McDonald's or Texas Roadhouse or something. But I have been to Ruby Tuesday in the past. I actually, have made a couple videos on getting food there. Now, I've mentioned that I actually have moved, I'm gonna be moving that stuff to another platform. Because I'm gonna spread some of the stuff out. I wanted to keep it all on one platform to make it easier for you guys, but it's kind of becoming very complicated online, so I'm not sure. I'm thinking about putting the stuff on Instagram, but I can't really get the videos to upload because it's saying I have a time limit or something like that. But I've seen other people upload stuff on there that's longer, so I don't know. I'll have to play around with it and figure it out, but yeah, but that'll be still. I'm still making those videos. They're just not gonna be on really YouTube much anymore, but yeah. Anywho, yeah, I was gonna say I'm not very familiar with this place. I've been to the one in near St. Louis a couple times. And then we had one in Jeff, but they closed after the pandemic. The pandemic actually really hurt this place, I've noticed. They closed down a lot of them. Now, Ruby Tuesday, I think, was still struggling before the pandemic, but when everybody was locked in their houses, I think it really killed the company and all that, and took out a lot of them. Now, I don't think they're hurting as bad as TGI Fridays are, but they're still hurting. Actually, TGI Fridays, I've heard, sounds like they might be coming back. I don't know, though. But I did a video about them a while back, too. I did a review, talking about them. And I think they were still open at that time. Yeah, they were still open because they closed the restaurant in Columbia down, and the last remaining ones in Missouri down. At the end of last year. So, where Ruby Tuesday, there are still some in Missouri and all that. They're just very spread apart. So, yeah, but I don't remember if I've been really to the one in Jeff or not. But I think I have. I just don't remember. But, yeah. But anywho, I'll go off of what I have seen and what I've been to. So I think before we talk about food products, because that's what, a lot of restaurants are known for, let's talk about the experience, because a lot of times you go to a restaurant anymore, like fast food or something, it looks cheap and all that. It's not very good anymore, like they don't really put effort into the dining rooms, which really sucks, and I get a lot of people like to, go through the drive-thrus, but there's people who eat inside too, or used to until they kind of quit, doing all of that, so. But yeah, basically though, yeah. So the dining rooms are kind of important for, these kind of reviews, but I gotta say, the dining room, at least the one I went to, it's really nice. There's actually a couple different ones. I've noticed that with Steak and Shake, too. Steak and Shake and Ruby Tuesdays have had different, they both have had different, looks on their, in their dining rooms. Actually, they had kind of similar layouts. So some of them have like carpet on them, while some have like old looking tiles, like like white and black. It's really interesting. But the Ruby Tuesday I went to and over by St. Louis. I don't think it was in St. Louis. It was actually right across the street from a mall. That's kind of like hit or miss, like it's not doing the best, but to be fair though, I'm not gonna lie, the malls in St. Louis are struggling bad. Like, I think there might be one left, but they've all pretty much have been either shut down or demolished. Because St. Louis has been losing a lot of malls. The thing is, though, some of them have been doing very good, like the Columbia Mall. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but they're not very popular over there. But Columbia and St. Louis have a lot of stuff in them, outside of the mall, but they still go inside of them. So I'm not really sure what the difference is there, but yeah, it's kind of interesting, but. I mean, that's kind of what people theorize happened to the Chesterfield Mall, and why it got demolished, because that's in Chesterfield, which is a little outside, St. Louis, but it was a similar fate. It didn't have a lot of people there, and they theorized, there was a lot of stuff that was outside of the mall, not in the mall, so people really didn't go in the mall and all that, but, which, I mean, could be the case, because they didn't really open up a lot of new places in the mall, to keep it open, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of weird like that with malls, but yeah. But there's basically a Ruby Tuesday, right by there, and I went there a couple times, but yeah, it's pretty nice. They got like a nice dining room, I gotta say, and they got a little salad bar. The salad bar is not really, there's not really a lot to it, but, they have some stuff there, you can get a little salad, so I think it's like a little buffet, you can get that, which is pretty cool. That's kind of what they're known for, and then, and all that, and then they had, like, some pictures on the walls and stuff that was pretty cool, and all that. I liked it, and really nice. And like I've said, there are a few others, like they kind of went with different ones of the dining rooms. So, yeah, I don't know. Because like I've said, like Steak and Shake, the one in Jeff, they had like a carpet looking theme, but it kind of had like an old looking theme to it, you know. And then there's like two in Columbia. One's identical to the other, you know, but then there's an old fashioned one there too. It's actually quite interesting. But the other Ruby Tuesday I was talking about, it's actually even further down from that one. Like it's about, I think, I was thinking about going there, because I like the dining room a little bit better in the future, but I don't know, it's kind of far away as well, but it's not much further. Like, it's probably about, like I said, about 30 minutes away from the other one. Just go straight down somewhere, and, you know, you might have to hop off somewhere to go to it, but there is like a Ruby Tuesday down there too, but it has a similar floor, you know, to like the one in Jeff we had. So yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit of that, but yeah, it's pretty interesting and all that, you know. So yeah, I mean, their dining room is really good, and their dining room's pretty good. I like it. Now for their food, on the other hand, I mean, I talk about their food, and I gotta say, their food's not that bad. I actually don't mind it. I know I kind of said it like it was a bad thing, but no, it's not that bad. I mean, they don't give you like a lot of like different options you can't get somewhere else, but they got some pretty good food and all that. I will say that. Like I said, you can get a salad. You know, a salad buffet, I think, and you can pay for that and then get as much salad as you want. Looks like you're going to be eating green, you know. Eat some green stuff and, you know, become green, you know. But you know, but that's kind of the thing there, you know, you got all of that and all that jazz. And then we gotta talk about the staffing. The staffing, I don't know, they don't seem to be really, they kind of seem to be a little bit grouchy at this location. Now, I probably shouldn't be judging, the staffing, in part of this. But there really wasn't that many staff. Like, there was like a few in there, but there wasn't that many. I did get my food really fast, though, and like I said, it turned out pretty good. It was not bad at all. Yeah, I did not, I got it to go and all that, like last time and all that, and, there wasn't really a lot of, like, staff in there, but, I mean, I think it just opened, too, so it's possible maybe more would have come, but I think the last time when I came there, when it was around, later at night, there wasn't a lot of staff either, but I guess to be fair, it was Thanksgiving Day, too, when I went, because this place is open on Thanksgiving, So, I mean, I'm surprised they're not off, because I figured they'd be off so, the employees could spend time with their family, but, I guess they're not. I guess it's good for people who want to get something to eat, if they're, because sometimes your family can also do Thanksgiving maybe on the day, maybe before or after, too. Usually they would do it on actual Thanksgiving, because that would make more sense, but you never know, sometimes they can do it afterwards. I mean, we don't do Christmas, on Christmas Day always, so, I mean, I'm just saying, it's kind of one of those things that, I don't think, I think it's a little upsetting for the employees, but on the other hand, I don't, I mean, they also, get somewhere to eat too, but, I don't know. But yeah, the thing is, they got, a good dining rooms, I think the staffing, is there's not a lot of staffing, kind of like Steak and Shake, but they get the food done pretty fast and all that. And then not only they get it done really fast, but I will say the food itself is actually not bad. It's pretty good. I'm definitely going to be giving this a good, and then I will be giving it a 120 points. Yep. It's getting 120 points. Yeah, this place is a very underrated place, I will say. It's such a shame that they're closing a lot of them down, though, and they're not doing as well as they once were. But yeah, it's just kind of sad, but I don't think they were that bad. I will say this, I don't think I like them as much as Texas Roadhouse. I think Texas Roadhouse has a lot more decorated stuff on the walls and stuff like that. But they're not bad. Like they're not that bad. They're actually pretty good, I will say. I will say they're pretty good and all that, and I just wish, they weren't so far away, but they've closed down. Like they had 2 in Columbia where I was going and all that. They're gone. They're gone in Jeff and all that. Like I don't got any Ruby Tuesdays really close by anymore. That's the closest one. Is I think about over an hour away or something like that. It's pretty crazy. I haven't really checked the maps in a while, so I don't know, but it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, but hopefully maybe they can, maybe make a comeback or something, but I don't know. I don't even see any advertisements for it. Like, I have not seen any advertisements for Ruby Tuesdays or TGI Fridays, either, so yeah, I don't know. And then both of them are not that expensive. I mean, I guess to take that back, their food's a little bit pricey, but about Ruby Tuesdays, I think they might be a little bit cheaper than TGI Fridays, actually, but yeah, I think I do like them over TGI Fridays. I think TGI Fridays was good, but I think Ruby Tuesdays is better. But it's not that bad. I think it's definitely a pretty good place. Also, I'm thinking about maybe I should start putting little emojis on my I think I used to do this on my restaurant and store reviews. I used to put little emojis that represent the restaurants and all that. I should probably start doing that again, for these reviews, because I think those were kind of fun. The problem is there's only so many I can do, so it makes it kind of hard, especially Ruby Tuesdays. What could I do for Ruby Tuesdays, I mean, it's not like I have, it's not like it's a Monday or something, because I can't do a Garfield or something, but I wonder if there's any restaurants called a Monday, I don't know. I know there was a store chain called The Weekends or something like that. It was called either The Weekends or Weekends. I don't know if it had the word "the" in it or not, but they closed them all down too. But I never really even heard of them, so I'm guessing they weren't super big. I don't know, but that's what I heard. But yeah, they closed them all down too. St. Louis has just been losing a lot of pretty popular things in the past, though. But that's just kind of what it is. But it's sad that St. Louis has kind of got all I mean, they do have, like I said, Ruby Tuesdays and stuff like that, but they don't really have any malls anymore and all that. And they then kind of I mean, they still got I guess they haven't been losing a ton of stuff, but I don't know. I just don't really like going up there as much, you know. I kind of like going to, like, you know, say Columbia more and all that, you know. It's not as chaotic, you know, and all, and it's a lot easier to get to, but that's kind of just me there, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should start putting maybe more of my emoji faces on, you know, on here, but I don't know. But that's pretty much it for this restaurant. There's nothing else for me to really say about it. I mean, I've only been to really one of them. The other ones, I don't even remember what the services are like. So I'm really only going off the food and stuff. But that's the thing too. Different locations will have different services. You know, so I mean, I don't really know, but I mean, their services are definitely so much better than fast food anymore. Especially McDonald's. McDonald's is freaking garbage anymore. Like, it really is. I did that. I actually did that re-review on it, similar to Dollar General, but I kind of think I probably should have still gave it a bad because I don't know. I'm kind of like, yeah, they brought back McDonaldland characters, but they really haven't done much of anything else. But I don't really want to do a re-review right now because I'm like, I already did one, and there's not really much else for me to add to the video. But I figured I'd bring that up here, but just because. But I'm going to go ahead and, you know, let the video go. And I'm going to figure out what kind of store I want to do. I'm thinking about doing Claire's. I'm thinking about doing a Claire's review. But, you know, for Valentine's Day, stuff and all that. Even though Valentine's Day is over. But I haven't decided yet. But, we'll see. We'll see. But for right now, though, I'll see you guys all later. Bye-bye, and have a happy Tuesday. Anywho, bye-bye.